Hey everybody, Kevin here once again from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today YouTube channel, and today we are going to be reviewing Papa Roach's 10th, count it 10th, album release, Who Do You Trust? So we're going to be giving you a little synopsis of the band up to this point, maybe looking back the last couple of years, last couple of albums, just to get you up to speed a little bit. Then we're going to go through each song on the album, tell you how it fits in, how it sounds, all that kind of jazz. Then we will rate the album as a whole on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best, and then we're going to tell you our reasoning why. So enough of that, let's go! So, in the past 4 years up to this point, Papa Roach has released 3 albums in that time span. They released Face Everything and Rise, or Fear, back in January 2015, end of January to be exact, and they released Crooked Teeth in May of 2017. Now, I really enjoyed listening to Face Everything and Rise because that was a great album, and I thought that that really hit on what Papa Roach is known for, with that hard-hitting sound, mixing with that new metal and hard rock sound. The songs on there, thinking Face Everything and Rise and Falling Apart, were very much more out there, but a little bit more melodic. Gravity also fit into that more melodic sound, but it really played off well on that album. Crooked Teeth was a little bit different because you had your hard hitters such as Crooked Teeth, of course, but then you had your more anthem-y melodic stuff like American Dream and Help. But there was a song in there called Born for Greatness, which became rather popular, but I thought they went a little too electronic, a little too pop on that one, and I'm like, I'm not the biggest fan of that. I really enjoyed Crooked Teeth, American Dream, and Help a whole lot on this album. So when Who Do You Trust came out, I was thinking, are they going to go kind of the way I think they're going to go and focus more in on that Born for Greatness sound that really got them more popularity in 2017, much like what Disturbed did with Evolution, and they went more ballady on that one following the success of the Sound of Silence cover. I was hoping they were going to go more towards Fear, but I was thinking they were going to go more towards Born for Greatness in a sense. So I listened to the album a couple of times through and through, got my notes down, knew what I'm talking about, talked with people on the internet, and this is what we came up with. So let's get to the review. The Ending is the first song on the album, Who Do You Trust? And from what I saw from conversations with people on Twitter and Instagram, this was the fan favorite song on the album. For me personally, I didn't think it was my favorite song or would become my favorite song, but looking at what the masses thought, I said, okay. Of course, I got to give this one a listen. I do enjoy the song. I think it is very listenable and has some repeat listening because it has this more melodic sound that Papa Roach really doesn't have much of, but also hits hard as well. If you want a comparison, I want to say Gravity on Fear was the best comparison I could come up with for this song, but I think they played this one a little too safe to the point where I think they could have gone harder with it and kept that melodic sound and have been a little bit riskier and could have produced even greater results. However, I think they played a little too safe here, and it just didn't resonate all too well with me. However, I did enjoy listening to this song. Renegade Music was a single on the album, is the second song on the record, and this is my favorite song on Who Do You Trust? What Papa Roach did here was they kind of kept up with what Crooked Teeth did with their titular song, Crooked Teeth, with that fast-paced nu metal sound that really made the band famous. I really enjoyed that, and I liked how the beat was rather simple. It really wasn't overdone, and they really let Jacoby's vocals shine here, especially in the chorus. I mean, he just belts it out, and it's great. If I put myself into a certain mode, I mean, it doesn't even take me putting myself into a certain mode, but I can easily picture the band playing this at a live show and the fans just going absolutely nuts because that sound just really gets to you. It's hard-hitting. It's fast-paced, and Jacoby's vocals are very similar to what you would hear on other songs by them, such as Last Resort or Hollywood Horror. I like this song. It's the best song on the record, and it really gets your heart pounded, and you really want to go and go nuts to this song. I really enjoy it. Not the only one was another single that came off of Who Do You Trust before the release of it, and this one seemed like it was a spiritual successor to Help off of Crooked Teeth. Now, I really did enjoy Help a lot more than this one because Help had this more passionate sound to it, and it really sounded like the band was into that song and really into that mode of thinking. Now, that may have been because during that time when it came out and when it was brand new, I was listening to it a lot more because it really started helping me cope with some of the things that I was going through with Not the Only One. I just don't see that happening. That might be because I'm not in that mode, but I think it's also because the lyrics just sound very uninspired, especially when Jacoby sings. It just doesn't sound like he's as passionate about it as he was on Help, and they also have this weird computerized breakdown vocals like 21 Pilots did at the end of their chorus, and it just doesn't mesh well. But why I'm split on this song is because I love the guitar breakdown. It is great. It stays Papa Roach, and it makes me want to listen to this song, but then the vocals say, maybe you shouldn't. The titular song, Who Do You Trust, came in 4th on this album, and I thought this one had more of that classic nu metal Papa Roach sound to it, but was at a slower pace. It seemed like it was made to be a little bit more radio friendly. I do like Jacoby's vocals in this because he does start rapping in this, and it reminds me kind of like what he did on Getting Away with Murder, which brings a smile to my face. I really did enjoy that. However, it's a very simple song, and its chorus is very catchy. It's very repetitive. And I think this was a song that was made and inspired to be on the radio, but not to be on pop rock stations, to be more on just regular rock stations, because that intro and the chorus too, it's just very simple and very catchy. There's not a lot going on here. The instrumentation here is okay. There's nothing real special. It kind of sticks real nu metal here, but I just thought they kind of made this song to be more in that mode of play this on the radio, play this on the radio, when you should be playing Renegade music instead. Elevate was the last single that came off this album, and it sounded like this was a Panic at the Disco trying to be nu metal song. The only thing that was missing was Brandon Urie singing instead of Jacoby. I thought, I was like, oh, this is kind of weird. And I didn't really like it, especially with how Jacoby's vocals and his style mixed with the instrumentation on this song. I know I've been going off about that lately, especially on this album. And I really like it when Jacoby either goes full nu metal or they go really deeper. If you're looking full nu metal, I like when he goes Last Resort or To Be Loved. If you're looking for that deeper sound, I like when he goes like on Help or American Dream or on Gravity. But on this song, Elevate, he kind of tries to mix the two, mix it with that nu metal rap and that deep sound, and it just doesn't really work here. I just don't think it's a good choice by them, and I'm really not a big fan of that particular, mesh. But, it happens. I do enjoy the fact they tried to experiment with it. The lyrics do seem a little uninspired here as well, which for a song called Elevate, trying to lift people up, I mean, come on. Can you give me a little more? Can you give me a little more passion in there? The saving grace on this, though, is the guitar breakdown in the chorus. Ho! That is something that warrants repeat listening to on this song. It is a fantastic pace, fantastic distortion, and just really adds to the song and makes it, more inspired than what the vocals really put out there. Come Around is easily my least favorite song on Who Do You Trust. I think this song was really created to be on those pop stations as like the token rock song that they put on there. My biggest reason for that is because when I listened to it, I thought this sounds just like Imagine Dragons that isn't off of Imagine Dragons' first album. This is something that came off of their 3rd release or their most recent release. And I just thought, this does not sound like Papa Roach. Granted, I do respect the fact that this band is experimenting and trying to do new things with their sound, but when you're really going to go that far out there and create something that I can easily tell is going to be played on all the pop rock stations, or all the pop stations for that matter, and it's going to be your token rock song, I mean, come on, guys. We don't need that. What we needed was a faster paced song, and you gave us Imagine Dragons-like stuff. I'm just not a fan of it, and it kind of disappointed me. It really brought me down as I was going through this album, and this was the one I did not want to talk about throughout this whole entire album review. Feel Like Home is another song that really feels like they made this song to be really put out there on those pop stations, because it kind of follows a little bit of a Coldplay mentality. I know that sounds completely weird, but if you listen to it, you can kind of feel that Feels Like Home and Clocks by Coldplay kind of have some kind of a similarity there. Now, the flow is off. They go for a more alt-rock approach on this one like they did on Come Around, and I just really can't stand it. I think this is where that Born for Greatness style really came into play into this album, because with those two songs, of course, when you're looking at what the popular rock bands of today are that the masses know about, of course, everyone's going to say 21 Pilots or Imagine Dragons. And they kind of doubled down on that style instead of really going more electronic like they did on Born for Greatness. And I just can't really fathom it. It just didn't really sit well at all with me. And those two songs, Come Around and Feel Like Home, man, I will not be listening to these songs or plan on, going and revisiting them anytime soon. Problem seemed like another song that was going to be that successor to Help off of Crooked Teeth, but this one, again, I thought it missed the mark just a bit. This song is a lot more of a depressive tone and kind of downtrodden than, you know, some of the other songs they have, which, again, I do respect the experimentation, but I think this song could have been something great had they changed it up a little bit. I do like the concept of the song, I do like the, you know, the message behind it and the lyrics, but what I think they should have done was take that depressive tone but sped it up a little bit and just let Jacoby belt it all out, and that could have made this song incredible. I thought if they would have done that on Problems, man, that would have been the best song on the record, and that could have been their best song, honestly, over the past 4 years. But I think they really kind of took that opportunity, again, playing it safe and kind of missed the mark. Top of the World was a song that I really didn't expect to care about, but as I listened to it another time, and a third time, and the fourth time, and, you know, a couple more before really getting in and writing this review, I started to like it more and more as I went on. The electronic fusion sound in the beginning of the song was something I didn't expect to really like, but it actually really, you know, hit home with me. Jacoby's vocals here are really well done when it comes to the rapping that he does in the beginning and more of that singing melodic sound, singing, you know, style he has. That is in the chorus. It works out well here. Now, when it comes to the message behind the song, I thought it was a little bit more political, but I'm kind of glad Papa Roach did that in this one because they really haven't done that throughout the whole entire album up to this point. And, of course, when it comes to politics and music, I do get it. I like it. There's times where I really don't care for it that much, you know, but it happens. This one I thought, at the beginning, I thought, oh, it didn't really get to me very well because I just really didn't care for the political nature of it. But as I kept listening to it, it kept growing on me more and more. I was talking with people online about this album. They said this is an album that's going to end up growing on you. It's not going to be one that's going to hit hard right away. And this song is the epitome of it. I think this is going to be one of the best songs on the record given a year or two after it's been released. I Suffer Well is a harder sounding song. It is the hardest sounding and probably most fast-paced song on this soundtrack. And when I listened to it, I thought, I'm actually really enjoying this because they showed that, you know, throughout the album so far that they can go and experiment with more pop-centric music. Here they're like, yeah, we can still experiment with our new metal sound and go nuts of the sound that got us there. I did enjoy it. However, the one thing I'm glad about this song is it only lasted a minute and a half because I was starting to get tired of it after about a minute. I'm like, can this song be over? And then all of a sudden it was over after a minute and a half. I thought, whew, good. If this went longer, I probably would have started liking the song a lot less and less as it went on, but then again, that's just my take. Maniac kind of wraps up the album at this point, and it really brings out what my feelings are about the album, because I'm really not sure what to think about it. When you listen to the verses, it's very much more centered around what the second half of the album was when they were experimenting with more pop-centric sounds. Now, when we go to the first half of the album, and those choruses on the ending in Renegade Music, that's where the chorus comes in on Maniac. So they mix both sides of the aisle where it's like, okay, this is what we did in the first half of the album, this is what we did in the second half of the album, and we're going to put it together and put it in this song. I did like that experimentation, but I'm still conflicted on it because I just don't know how I feel about it. Am I kind of mad because it's more like the second half of the album and the verses, or because am I glad about it because is the chorus more like the ending of Renegade Music? It really is kind of just making me feel like, I don't know, it's going to have to grow on me at this point, but I just really don't know. Better Than Life was the last song on the album, and it was one great song to end on. The verse is a lot more calm and more melodic, and there's an absence of guitar here which really let Jacoby's vocals in those verses flow with the beat of the drum. Once we got to the chorus, though, they got a lot harder, and they just belted out, and that's what I like about Papa Roach, because they can just do something like that, where they can just turn it up at any given moment and go out after it. This is one thing I thought I wish they would have done more of on this album, like they did with Renegade Music, like they did here on Better Than Life, like they did in the ending a little bit. That's just what I thought. I'm like, I wish they would have done that more, but they didn't. But when it comes to the end of the album, at least they did it here. At least they did at the beginning of the album. The middle really didn't have that, but hey, at least they showed us that they can still do it. Alright, time to give my rating on the album, and I give this album a 5 out of 10. I was very conflicted on this album because I thought on this album there were parts where I thought, yeah, this is good stuff. This is great. I'm enjoying this. This is fun to listen to. Like, I really enjoyed Renegade Music. I thought that was a great song. I enjoyed parts of the ending and Better Than Life. when Papa Roach really hits it harder and goes something that's more fast-paced, very into it, kind of like they did on Crooked Teeth. If they've gone in the past, I'm like Hollywood Horror, Getting Away with Murder, Still Swinging, shoot, To Be Loved, and Last Resort. I think it really, really plays on their strengths. And this is something I saw here. There are times they went a little bit more melodic, like Top of the World, that kind of reminded me of something like they did with Help, or American Dream, or Forever, or Gravity. When they do stuff like that, when they kind of bring on that deeper sound, but it's something that's really going to play off of Jacoby Shaddix's voice, man, does that make just great music. I really enjoy it. But the one thing I was afraid of here was they were going to follow the model that I thought Disturbed did when they came out with Evolution. They went more ballady to play to the mass audiences because of the success of the Sound of Silence remake. I was afraid that because when Crooked Teeth came out, on all the rock stations, even the pop stations, I heard Papa Roach playing. I thought, oh, this is cool, but they were playing Born for Greatness. And that's just something I really didn't care for because it was a lot more pop-centric. And I was afraid that they were going to experiment more with that sound. And they did with Come Up Together because that was a lot more Imagine Dragons-y. And Feel Like Home, they had that Coldplay kind of mix. Granted, I do respect the fact that the band is willing to experiment and try new things. However, I think they really missed the mark on some of these, and I think they hit the mark on some, and I really don't know how I feel about it. The album may grow on me in time, but at the moment, I'm not sure how I feel about it. It's really kind of conflicting, and there's parts of it that just made me kind of think, ugh. But there are other parts where I thought, dang, Renegade music kills. So I got to give it a 5 out of 10. Alright, well that's it for me. Thanks for watching the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today album review on Who Do You Trust by Papa Roach. If you think the album review was pretty spot on, give us a like. If you think, we really did it wrong and you don't like it, give us a dislike. But if you want to tell us why you like it or why you dislike it, hit up that comment section below. I'll take a look at them, I'll respond to them, and let's chat about the album. If you want to stay up to date when we release our videos, when we release videos every single Wednesday, or a special one that, we kind of did, hit that subscribe button and that bell icon because then you'll be notified every single time we release a new video. If you're not following us on our social media platforms, guys, what are you doing? We put out killer content on each of them. So go to our Facebook page and like it. Go to our Twitter account and follow it. Go to our Instagram page and follow that as well because we're going to give you stuff every single day, more than once, and you're going to enjoy it. Trust me about it because I enjoy it as well. Lastly, if you have an Amazon Alexa and you are not subscribed to the My Song Day Rock 2000 Day Alexa skill, what are you actually doing? We put out a new song every single day from an artist that you love or you don't know, but the songs are going to hit hard as well. And on Thursdays, we always do Throwback Thursdays, go more pop punk for you guys. But it's going to be a new song every single day. If you have an Amazon Alexa and you're on your phone, go to the links in the description below, click on that, and it'll open up your Alexa skill app, and you can enable a skill from there. Or you can say, hey Alexa, enable My Song Day Rock 2000 Today Alexa skill. And then you have it. Following that, all you have to do is say, hey Alexa, play my song of the day. Alexa will say, playing your song of the day, and you'll get a little intro from me, maybe 5-6 seconds, nothing too fancy. And then you get to hear the whole song in its entirety. And if you want to listen to it again, my God, you can listen to it as many times as you want in that day, and I'll get you a new song the next day. The next day, I keep it consistent. If you've got suggestions, let me know. But please, 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 please subscribe. This is what we're doing it for. So please subscribe, add it to your Alexa skill set, and enjoy. And now that's it for me. This is Kevin from the My Song of the Day Rock 2000 to Today YouTube channel. Of course, I end all my videos with a see ya!